The time now is 7:38, and Mark Curtis is in New Hampshire covering the campaign. He joins us live from Manchester this morning. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Ross. It's going to be 50 degrees here today. I was listening to Steve's forecast, and as bad as things have been there, boy, this is a nice day here to get out and vote. So they expect the turnout to be very, very high.
Well, I know you've been going to a lot of the rallies for the various candidates. How do they differ?
Well, I tell you what, Sunday it was a stark contrast. I went to a Barack Obama rally. Everyone was shoulder to shoulder. They were screaming. There was electricity in the air. The candidate was on, and it was really something. I contrasted that an hour later with the Hillary Clinton event over on the coast, where the room was only about two-thirds full, and it was just dead, in a word. And it was like the Obama campaign had sucked the energy out of Hillary Clinton's campaign. Now, I contrast that, though, with last night. I went to their final two rallies. Hillary and Bill Clinton had a rally near the airport last night. It was unreal. Over 1,000 people, electricity in the air. And then I went to the Obama rally at 11 o'clock last night in Concord, and it was really something else.
Well, there was a lot of talk out here about that emotional moment that Hillary Clinton had yesterday. Did you talk to any of the voters about that, and what was their reaction to it?
You know, it's a very mixed reaction, particularly among women and among Democratic women I talked to. They were very sympathetic. They were like, you know, it's okay for her to show emotion. A lot of the men I talked to referred back to Ed Muskie, the senator from Maine, back in 1972, who was the front runner for the Democratic nomination. A newspaper here attacked Muskie's wife, and he gave a very tearful speech in front of the Capitol, and that was the end of his campaign. So it depends on who you ask, and so far it doesn't seem to be hurting Hillary Clinton as much as critics might think.
Well, in Iowa, Barack Obama had the good fortune of voters like women, the younger voters, independents voting for him. Are those same kind of dynamics showing up in New Hampshire?
Yeah, if you want to see a lot of young people go to a Barack Obama rally, he has really captured that part of the electorate. In fact, I know the exit polls in Iowa showed that 57% of young people under 40, voted for Barack Obama. Hillary Clinton only got 16% of those voters. It's interesting, too, to point out that the other person that has really energized young voters is long-shot candidate Ron Paul. I mean, he polled 10% in Iowa. He's looking at about 8 or 9% here. He's certainly a long shot, but a lot of kids come out for Ron Paul, probably because his campaign is so internet-based.
Interesting, Fox News wouldn't allow him on the debate the other night.
Yeah, and a lot of people here disagree with that decision. I'm one of them. I'll be honest with you, because I think if somebody's polling 10% and is that viable in any campaign on either side of the aisle, they ought to be allowed in the debate. It's a shame that he wasn't. People ought to be allowed to hear what his viewpoints are.
Often said that Barack Obama needs those independent voters, a lot of them in New Hampshire. They can, go with a Republican or Democrat. John McCain also needs the independent voters, too. So he's got to be concerned they may go over to Barack.
Well, it's interesting because in the head-to-head polling between John McCain and Mitt Romney is leading among Republican voters. So you're right, Ross. In order to win, McCain needs a large block of independent voters. And I was at a John McCain rally on the steps of the Capitol in Concord yesterday, and there were a lot of people out there who said they were independent voters. McCain is interesting because everybody in this campaign is running with that mantra of change, except one guy, John McCain. He's running on his 30-plus years of experience in Washington, and he's doing very well at that. Now, he attributes a lot of that to the recent events overseas, the assassination in Pakistan, the conflict or clash between U.S. and Iraqi naval forces Sunday in the Persian Gulf. So he's really getting a surge, so to speak, by running on his foreign policy and military experience, and that's different from every other candidate in this campaign.
All right, thank you, Mark. We'll talk to you again tomorrow after the results are in. And you can hear Mark more on the Ron Owens Show at KGO at 9 o'clock this morning. Time now, 7:42. Let's go back to the desk.